do like this. Big screen. Put it on the big... This deserves the big screen, right?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Arc Basics, a show where we break down the ABCs of how to start an arc, how to accomplish things.
I thought, okay, this is the game. I thought this was like a documentary, but it's not. Beavers, everything. What the fuck? Everything you need to know. Don't laugh. Wild fact is we can start with this one, and then I want to see when David Attenborough gets smacked by a beaver. Total fail. True. Good intro music. 10 out of 5.
They're one of the largest rodents in the world. They're indisputably
He looked like me if I didn't have a beard.
Canada doesn't put just anyone on their money. But the main reason you should appreciate beavers is that they're second only to us in their ability to completely transform the environments they live in. Usually,
Beavers has this big of a brain. Look, like it's as big of a brain as I have, and they do smarter things than we do.
for the better, though. While we like to surround ourselves with warehouse, stores, and hamburger restaurants, beavers will turn a stream-fed meadow, even a patch of desert, into a lush, watery habitat for...
Wasn't that a thing in the 60s or 70s, maybe even the 50s, I can't remember. They put they killed all the beavers in a place in USA in like a natural habitat, in a natural what do you call it? Where it's protective, you can't build there. I don't know what to call it. National reserve maybe. And then they planted out beavers again, and they dropped them in crates with a parachute. You know, I'm gonna see if I can find that clip. That's really nice. A nice clip.
Of wildlife, aquatic and landlubber alike. They do it, of course, by building dams, and darn can these guys dam. Most beaver dams are 5 to 10 meters long and form small ponds behind them, but sometimes these structures have been known to turn into decades-long development projects. The biggest beaver dam in the world, in Canada's Wood Buffalo National Park.
There it is, I think.
More than 800.
Yeah, this one. It's this one. It's this one where they planted the beavers.
50 meters long, forming a huge wetland that's actually been photographed from space. It's been under construction since the 1970s.
You know, the beavers are better than the Chinese people with the Chinese have the wall of China. The beavers have had the beaver dam 850 meters that you can see from space in Canada. What do humans got against beavers? I say nothing.
Subsequent generations of beavers adding to it, and it's getting bigger every year. Beavers go through all the trouble of dam building primarily for defense. Some build lodges made of sticks and mud in the ponds that they create, while others burrow into their muddy banks. Both are designed to be entered only underwater. By surrounding themselves with deep water, beavers can protect their dens from predators like wolves and wildcats, while creating a habitat that supports
the beavers are pro players.
Like most, like cattails, willows, pondweed, and aspen. The dams are usually started by single males trying to attract a mate, or a young couple which pair up for life.
That's you and me, Roy. A young couple pairing up for life.
Adorable beaver love. But one thing that's a little less cute is how completely serious these guys can be about their dams. Scientists call it instinctive behavior, but it can end up looking kind of compulsive. Biologists believe that the sound of running water actually triggers dam building behavior in beavers.
They're getting triggered by running water.
Be able to feel or otherwise sense in the water when a leak has sprung in a dam. Research has shown that little gaps intentionally created in beaver dams will cause every member of a colony to drop everything to repair it, regardless of what else needs to be done. Scientists, a little evil, have even played audio recordings of running water near beaver sites and have returned in the morning to find speakers covered with sticks and mud.
That's diabolic. You can't do that to the beavers. That's like playing Apache helicopter sound at night when I try to sleep, you know? But maybe you get even better dreams then. You're like, oh, Apache helicopter. Oh, nothing is stronger than love except an Apache helicopter, you know? You know, that's it.
This obsessive engineering is all made possible by Beavers' trademark teeth. And you may have heard that their teeth continue to grow throughout their lifetimes, which is true, but only their big, curved front incisors. Beavers' voluminous tree gnawing keeps their teeth from growing too long.
Did I told you that, Roy, that I when I was out fishing, I saw a couple of trees who fell down, and it was beavers, because it looked like this. It could have been an axe, but no, it was beavers, 100%.
But they don't actually eat.
So they are here somewhere, but where?
Prefer to feast
That's
on
the
non-woody
question.
plants like water lilies and cattails in the spring. In the winter, they strip trees of their bark and eat the soft layer of tissue underneath known as cambium. And despite what the cartoons have taught us, beavers' famous front teeth are not white. They're orange.
Oh no. No, everything I thought is a lie. Ah, fuck! Why? Oh. The beaver's teeth are orange-brown. Who would have thought? I thought they were like brushing their teeth every day. Maybe not.
Their tooth enamel contains iron.
No, he didn't show the 850-meter dam. We're gonna check it out soon.
Two-pack-a-day habit. And finally, a note about beaver butts. They smell delightful. Both male and female beavers have a pair of anal scent glands that they use.
Anal scent glands. Imagine if humans have anal scent glands. Everybody would smell terrific.
And the yellowish oil that they produce, called castoreum, smells precisely like sweetened vanilla. So much so that for hundreds of years it was used to flavor food and drinks.
Oh no, no.
So that for castoreum smells precisely like sweetened vanilla. So much so that for hundreds of years it was used to flavor food and drinks, and in some places can still be found in perfumes and processed foods under the ambiguous moniker of natural flavoring.
It's a good thing I wasn't alive 200-300 years ago, you know. What are you typing? If I share what I learned here to my friends... You need to continue typing. It's a cliffhanger, folks.
Other cultures have prized castoreum for its medicinal properties, and that might be because one of beavers' favorite snacks is the bark of willow trees, which contains the chemical salicin, which people have used for centuries to make natural painkillers. But because beavers eat
painkillers,
so much
you know, the beavers is good for everything. Why wasn't I born a beaver? I can only ask myself that. I can ask, why wasn't my mother a beaver? Why wasn't my father a beaver? Maybe in my next life you can like see in my hand like what my previous life was. Maybe my previous life was a beaver and my next life is a beaver. Who knows?
The bark, their sweet-smelling butt oils can be chock full of salicylic acid, which is the precursor compound.
You're learning. This is like a biology lesson.
What other animal can you think of that makes its habitat more livable, drops everything to keep its neighborhood safe, and has a bum that smells like dessert? I can't come up with anything.
I have a bum that smells like dessert. And I think some of you guys may know that, actually. How will I know that? I just do.
Thanks for watching this SciShow Dose. If you'd like to learn more...
Nice. Now we're gonna see the beaver dam that is big. Here we go. Oh, look. I've seen this one. We're gonna check it out. Wait, we're gonna check it out, but I want to see David Attenborough get attacked by beavers first. Is it here?
This is the beaver's fridge.
I think it's here. Look, it's getting pissed off at David Attenborough.
At one side of the lake stands their lodge, a fortress built of branches and boulders that's so strong that not even a bear could break into it. The only entrance is through tunnels that open underwater, and the beavers take refuge here whenever they are alarmed.
Look. And he looks so happy when the beaver is triggered. Why is he so happy? He should be afraid and he should show some goddamn respect to the beavers. Oh, it's so angry. And he's so happy.
That was a warning signal.
That was a warning signal. Yeah, don't get any closer, David. You will die an early death if you get any closer.
That was a warning signal to say that danger was around, that's to say me. And now I may not see the beavers for some time. They can stay underwater.
They can stay where the fuck they want. Okay, let's see.
A Canadian beaver family has created their own watery kingdom. They've built the biggest beaver dam the world has ever seen.
Look at this shit,
The walls
people.
are not very tall, but the structure is more than twice as long as the Hoover Dam. It is so massive that it can even be seen from space.
I told you, you know, the beavers are better than humans. Humans needed, like, how many slaves did they need to build the wall of China? Look at these beavers. They're just building. They don't have any tools. They don't have any leaders. They just have instinct. And they do the beaver dam in somewhere in Canada, you know? And you can see it from space. Crazy stuff.
Back in 2007, researchers found the beaver dam by coincidence while analyzing satellite images.
By what? By accident? We have known about this for millions of years.
Researchers found the beaver dam by coincidence while analyzing satellite images. Today, scientists are intentionally on the lookout for beaver dams. The rodents' work even grabbed the attention of NASA because these dams seem to have a huge impact on the landscape. But how is it that little rodents with a fondness for
wooden... Is it possible to have a beaver as a pet? That would be great, because then they can fix the environment. You know, we don't need scientists, we don't need anything. Just drop a goddamn beaver down outside here, and they will fix it for us. It will chew up some trees, put them in the way of water everywhere. Everyone is happy.
Sticks can have such an influence. Are they really rewilding areas just by doing their thing? And in what sense is their engineering work important for us humans?
We will find out soon. After the break, we will find out.
Beavers are capable of impressive architectural work when humans aren't holding them back. That's what beaver researchers suspected for many years. In 2023, NASA stepped in and teamed up with them to finally measure the impact of beavers on their surroundings.
Finally.
The team started tracking how beavers transformed the landscape. Their research started in Idaho. A significantly high number of beavers live here, and there's a special reason for that.
Idaho? But that's USA. Why have they said Canada all this time? What the fuck?
100 years ago, beavers were nearly extinct all...
Yeah, this is the part I was talking about when they dropped the beavers down in crates. Look at this.
Beavers live here, and there's a special reason for that. A few hundred years ago, beavers were nearly extinct all over North America. Humans had hunted them for their fur and castoreum, until the species was left in only a few places. One of them was Idaho.
How come that humans are hunting animals to their extinction all the time? What's up with that? You know, the buffaloes, especially the Americans, you know, the buffaloes, the beavers, all the other animals that are gone extinct. It must be something wrong with the human people, because we are always picking animals apart and leaving no one alive.
But here, the beavers also came into conflict with settlers. In 1948, the Idaho Fish and Game Department decided to relocate them to remote areas instead of killing them.
A load of beaver for the mountain.
76 beavers were put into wooden boxes and relocated by parachutes to the Chamberlain Basin. The adventure went well. All but one of them had a safe landing.
Now, into the air.
They're dropping them with parachutes. This is like terrorist beavers. They're invading.
The adventure went well. All but one of them had a safe landing.
Imagine what they're gonna tell the grandchildren, like, yeah, I was airdropped into this location, and then I built a big-ass dam that you can see from space.
Oh, into the air and down they swing.
Back then, nobody knew how huge the beavers' impact would be.
And a most unusual and novel trip
it's
ends
a big
for Mr.
ass
Beaver.
way, you know?
Today, more than 75 years later, NASA analysts can see the effect of all those parachuted beavers. Shortly after the translocation, something remarkable happened to those remote areas. The beavers transported there had started building dams, breeding, and storing food.
Big boy!
The areas became lusher and greener than the neighboring land. Bog Creek, which received many animal packages from the sky, became so verdant that the greenery clearly stood out from space.
Hey Dada, how was your day? I dropped some sweet vanilla ice from the sky.
Satellite imagery shows that in 2018, during massive forest fires, these beaver-rich areas were resilient. Beavers turned out to be efficient mini firefighters. Studies also showed that the beaver presence boosted the diversity of plants by 1/3. So, in a nutshell, beavers make their natural surroundings more resilient just by doing what they do best: building dams.
Building dams.
It might look like beavers are trying to put their dams everywhere, but in fact, they are very choosy about where they build. Following the sound...
They are almost like humans, you know, they are picky where they build stuff. They do wonders of the world. They are resilient, but just better. They are better than humans.
...of running water, a beaver will search heavily wooded areas to find a medium-sized stream that's not too steep or too deep. Then it combines vegetation, mud, and sticks to create a bank along the stream's edge. Using its teeth, which are 3 times stronger than those of any other mammal this size, the beaver chews nearby logs into sturdy sticks, rolls them into the water, and spikes them into the mudbed. Everything is anchored with heavy rocks that the beaver brings to the site. The larger the dam, the larger the beaver's territory. Beaver dams come in several shapes and sizes, but none of them stops the water entirely. They all just slow it down. The water eventually finds its way around the sticks and through the dams, so beaver dams change the water flow just enough for it to spread out, pool, soak the soil, and create wetlands. Remember the world's biggest beaver dam. The generation of beavers that maintain it have created a pond containing roughly 70,000 cubic meters of water. That's 1,600 hockey rinks of water. And what's the beaver's reward for this hard work? By converting a stream into a pond, beavers are creating the perfect surroundings for their family.
And for everybody else. They're creating the perfect environment for the family and for everybody else. It's spreading out the water, everything is growing, and the animals can drink, you know. It's just positive. This is the positivity we need in the world, not the wars. We need more beavers. Just put beavers everywhere and everything will solve. It will solve everything. Trust me. Trust me, bro.
Feet and flattened tails serve as efficient paddles and rudders, which makes them way faster in water than on land. So,
I bet that they are fast beaver. I've seen, you know, the Polish memes when it's, oh, bobber, kurva. I've seen that the beavers run very fast there. So I think they can run fast on land as well. They can be fast in water, but they can be ferocious on land.
Rudders, which makes them way faster in water than on land. So, a deeper water course means that the animals can move more efficiently. Deeper water means also more safety for their family and their house. Beavers don't live inside their dams. Dams are more like their workplace.
They're so cute when they walk with something like this and just walk on their hind legs.
Home is the Beaver Lodge, which is located behind
This is the Beaver
dam.
Lodge. Welcome, this is the guest lodge. Welcome, this is the Beaver Lodge. This is where all the lushness comes. You can just take a swim underneath and then you come up to this big house. That's the Beaver Lodge.
Workplace. Their actual home is the Beaver Lodge, which is located behind the dam. Beaver lodges may look like a mess of sticks and logs, but they are complex and well-structured. The entrances are underwater to keep young ones safe from predators. Above is a suite of rooms. There's a mud room where they can dry off, a family room where they eat and sleep. The roof is kept loose to let in fresh air. And as a finishing touch, they excavate the mud from the shore of the site so that their home will be totally surrounded by water.
They do like we did back in the day with the water around the castles and stuff, but they have done it much longer and they still do it because they're smart. Smart animals.
The beaver channels also connect bodies of water, increasing the biodiversity areas between water and land, and their lodges often serve as nesting sites for various bird species. But it's not only the rodent itself and other wildlife that profits. Humans also benefit from beaver construction.
Imagine if beavers were a little bit smarter, they would be like Terminator. They would take over the world. They would do the editing here, not us. They would do the editing of everything. And maybe we would be the minority, what do you call it? We would not be on top of the food chain. We would be underneath the beavers. And maybe that would be a better world. Who knows? And then when we are reborn as beavers.
Projects.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Dam building beavers are helping stave off some of the worst effects of climate change. Droughts and floods.
Look.
A professor and beaver expert at Boston University says that beaver activity may be also the most cost-effective method of creating functional wetland systems. Their dams help control water levels in rivers and streams. This is helpful during big rains because it stops flooding. Plus, it keeps water around during dry times, which is great for plants, animals, and people.
And the humans were about to erase the beavers from the history. And then you see this, like when they do, it's good for everything. It's good for flooding. It's good for I didn't catch everything it was good for, okay? But it's good. It's really good.
The wetlands they create serve as effective carbon sinks. And as already mentioned, beavers also help prevent wildfires. They make the land around them wetter. When wildfires happen, these wet areas act as natural barriers, slowing down the fire and keeping it from spreading too fast.
I see.
So, in short, beavers aren't just furry architects. They're also true climate heroes.
Yeah, climate heroes. Imagine if humans could be this much climate heroes. We wouldn't have a care in the world. We wouldn't have the glaciers melting. We wouldn't have crazy weather, you know? It would be perfect.
That's why today,
look how cute. How could you say no to this? Look, a cute boy. He has almost the same color on the teeth that I have. So I'm cute as well. But he is more cute. He's a really cute boy. He looks like my dog. You can't see my dog because he's sleeping right now. And maybe that's for the best. But look at this cute boy.
That's why today, beaver translocations take place not to get rid of them, but to preserve them.
They did it a little bit more safe this time instead of airdropping them from 200 meters like, and hope that they survive. You know, they have learned something now in 2023 or whenever this was.
And good for them. Humans have learned how to relocate them in
I told you, fucking fast. Look at this boy.
And nature. And good for them. Humans have learned how to relocate them in an appropriate way.
I could never catch him.
With parachutes.
Quick boy.
But with horses.
Yeah.
With parachutes. But with horses.
They go out with horses instead of just airdropping them in like, go, 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 go. Beaver 1, Beaver 2, go, go, go. Beaver 3, go. You know? It's like a military operation. Oh, great. Is it something more? Only one did not survive. Why? That's a really good... it's a good... because they airdropped 73 or 78 or whatever. But just one did make it. But that's sad as well. But it's a good percentage. How much is that? It's like... maybe 1.5% or something of the whole thing. Stop laughing. Stop laughing at me. I'm serious here. Let's see. We're gonna look at one more beaver video, I think. Oh, look at this. Busy beavers building dam ahead of winter. That sounds like a movie for me. Look. I've seen... Oh, that's so sad, though. I've seen one video with the beavers. And he got stuck because they're usually good. They can hear it cracking in the tree and then they go from there. But they found one beaver who was dead because the tree fell on his head. You know, that's so sad. Maybe it was a little bit stupid, but it's sad. It's sad nevertheless. Fun enough, only one did not go with the one who died. Yeah, everybody else had like when they hear a plane above, they're like like the cat. You know, the war. Don't take me back there, please.
A beaver can fell a cottonwood tree in just a few hours.
Imagine if I had this soothing voice, I would have a lot more people watching my streams. But instead, I'm stuck with this mid-range fucking voice that you can hear from 2 miles away.
A beaver can fell a cottonwood tree in just a few hours. Hundreds in a year.
And this is a fucking tree. Imagine how strong you have to be. It's not. It looks like it's like some other material because it doesn't look so. It's like blap, 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 like nothing.
It doesn't chew through the whole trunk, just enough to make the tree unstable.
Yeah, I told you this
It
before.
then retreats and lets the wind do the rest.
The beavers are so smart. And I think, do the beavers fell trees in the winter when the trees doesn't have leaves? That would be interesting because it should be easier for them in the summertime when they have the leaves, because then the leaves helps with the weight. If it's because it's more weight, and then it's easier to get unstable and crack. Just a theory. It's just a theory. But I want to be proven right on this one. Because it was a smart theory that I was just thinking now. Smart boy. Look at those those nails, what do you call it? Strong boy! Look! What the fuck, did you see that? He broke it without chewing on it. Look. Ooh, that was mind powers. The last one, where we can have this. We need to take out the most advanced video enhancer or video slow motion of all time. 50%. Look at this. This is like some mind shit. Look now. 1, 2, and now we release it. What the fuck? Witchcraft. Maybe they have like telepathic abilities or something. Who knows?
It cuts branches into more manageable lengths and then swims them down a network of purpose-built canals towards the dam. The pond gives this beaver protection from predators, and the canals allow it to forage.
What are the predators that hunt beavers? Is that like bears, what do you call those? Foxes, bobcat, wolves, like those kind of animals, I guess. Not bears. I don't think bears eat beavers. Maybe if they can get a hold of one, but I don't know.
Far into the forest, carrying
but I
many
wouldn't,
times
I
its
wouldn't
own
fuck
weight
with a beaver, I
with
tell you
ease.
that much.
Autumn is the busiest time of year for beavers. It won't be so easy to make repairs when the pond is frozen over.
Cute.
The sound of running water is their stimulus to shore up gaps with timber and plug leaks with mud.
We can draw a comparison here. Like the sound of water for the beavers is like the sound of your dad telling you that he's disappointed at you. He's not angry, he's just disappointed. Let that sink in. Let that just sink in for a moment. It's the same feeling for the beavers. So, my point here, if you had that, like, I'm disappointed at you, and you had to do something, then you would be fucking doing it, like the beavers are doing, you know? Like your wife calling you your full name. Exactly. If we can do that comparison as well, so you understand. If your wife or your girlfriend or whatever is calling you by your full name, not just the last name and the middle or the first name, it's all the names in between as well, you know? So in my case, Eric Oscar Edward Carlson, you get your ass here right now, and you get your shit together, and you do this for me, you know, then I would like, whoa, yes, queen, I'm coming, queen, yes, I will be the simp all year round. So that's the same when the beavers hear the running water. That was my comparison anyway.
But the dam not only serves the beavers.
Look, big ass moose.
Moose come here from the forests around to feed on weeds that thrive in the beaver's shallow pond. The weed is rich in vital sodium.
I think moose can eat like almost whatever. They can eat branches. They can eat like whatever in the forest. I think they are pretty tough. The tough stomach, and so they are tough animals.
Forest can't
but
easily
not as
provide.
tough as beavers, though.
But now that winter is approaching, another essential role for the dam is revealed.
Oh, he almost fell over there.
Look.
Did you see how smart he was? Look now. Oh!
These smaller branches.
Shit! We need to slow this down. Playback speed 0.5. Look this. Now you think you messed up, but look now.
These small.
I can't do this, but it feels like he does this, you know? Like when you were a kid, you did this. That was that beaver right now. He just did it. Pro player right there. Slick.
Smaller branches
Mr.
are not
Slick.
for fixing the dam. They're for eating.
Oh! The technique, yeah. It's impeccable. Impeccable. It's like my guitar technique. It's like this. It's impeccable. Okay, arpeggios. It's like that, you know, an impeccable technique.
Them to the mud in the lake bottom.
They are strong as
In just
hell.
a few weeks, this lake will be frozen. And the beavers won't be able to cut and move trees. But
they won't be able to cut and move trees in the winter. Listen to this.
And in just a few weeks, this lake will be frozen. And the beavers won't be able to cut and move trees.
Maybe they can cut but not move them then. But then my theory is correct, right?
But they will be able to swim right under the ice to feed from this underwater larder.
That's good. They know what's up. But they are not carnivores, right? They're just eating plants and trees and stuff like that. Right?
Moose also eat twigs and branches and often try to take advantage of the beaver's hard labor.
Look now it's gonna get smacked with the tail.
This young male is getting a little too close to the beaver's larder.
It's gonna smack him with the tail. Look. Yeah! Don't mess with the beavers. You're getting that Attenborough greeting.
A little too close to the beaver's larder.
Look. Boom! Get out of here! Get out of here! For Pumbaa's sake. Yes, for Pumbaa's sake. Imagine Pumbaa being a beaver. He looks a little bit like a beaver though. Look, they are splashing. Move, move, move.
Autumn is not a time for
That's
sharing.
the equivalent of like, get off my front yard, boy! You know, that's the equivalent of that. That one is the equivalent of a 24 gauge shotgun shell.
Autumn is not a time for sharing.
Boom. Nice. This, by the way, have you seen this, Roy? This is the best dinosaur series, Walking with Dinosaurs. I have it on Swedish. I had a really hard time finding it, but I did. This is one of the best interpretations of the dinosaurs, and it's really well made. You should check it out. It's really well made. 99. I probably saw this when it came out, or a couple of years after when it went on TV or something. But because they were really early with the CGI, and they used CGI and they used puppets. You know, like puppets, like they did in Jurassic Park. So that was great.